Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dychronic, your host here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about this week at Bungie for September 19, 2019. Basically, this is going to be your news post about Destiny 2 in the past week, current week, and the next few weeks of Destiny 2. And of course, my versions of the TWAB are going to be your audible version, so sit back, relax, close your eyes, just enjoy the audible tones of my voice, ignore the cute animals that are on screen in most of my videos. I gotta say, at some point this is going to get old, but right now, I just love going to Google, typing in cute animals and putting them on screen. It's just something that's just enjoyable. Oh, and before we get started, I also wanted to mention that I have a giveaway going on right now with some Astro A40 headsets, some blue microphones, some Destiny 2 emblem codes. Check out in the description down below, Gleam link. This giveaway ends on September 29th. Alright, so in a nutshell, this TWAB is not a lot of information at all. I would say it's a very small amount of information, except for the fact that there is a ViDoc. So if you haven't seen it already, it was released a few days ago, 10-minute ViDoc, kind of showing off a couple new things with Destiny 2, kind of showing off a few new gameplay stuff or re-showing some stuff we already knew about. They do mention at one point the new dungeon that which is this picture here, I think, the new dungeon, and a few little glimpses into the story. Again, there's no real big story leak. It's not spoiling anything, but it definitely is a cool teaser, and I highly recommend you watch it, but I'm not going to be going over every little detail. Outside of that, they mentioned World's First stuff, they mentioned the emblems for the raid stuff, and then they also go in depth with some glitch that's been in the game for a while. But again, there's really not a lot of information outside of that kind of stuff, so this one should be pretty quick. And the last thing before we get started, on screen now you can see a calendar of the upcoming Shadowkeep release schedule and rollout schedule for the next 2 months of Destiny 2. This is something that you should save, that you should keep a picture of, because this stuff is going to be very important to know what's coming up in Destiny 2. And I'm going to be putting this on a lot of my videos just so you guys have reminders. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. Again, the ViDoc has a lot of great information, a lot of cool little stuff to look at if you haven't been paying attention to Destiny and Destiny 2, Shadowkeep and whatnot. This catches you up on a lot of the stuff that we already do know. Moving on to the World's First Race belt encounter thing. If you did not know, every single DLC for Destiny 2, they have a race. First of all, the DLC releases on October 1st, and then the raid releases on Saturday, October 5th. 4 days after the release of the DLC. As soon as that releases, everyone races to see who can be the first team to get through the new raid. And the new raid, the Garden of Salvation, is no different. However, there will be a few changes. First of all, they're enabling something they call contest mode. For the first 24 hours, they will enable contest mode, which means your power level will be capped at 890 for the most of the raid, and the final boss section will be capped out at 920. So as long as you get 920, you'll be able to perform on the first day of the raid release as well as everyone else. You don't have to rely on just being super lucky and get as much power as physically possible, and after that 24-hour period, that will be disabled and you can have any power you want entering the raid. And of course, if you did not know, the first team will literally be awarded this belt. A real life item will be rewarded for the first team to complete it. However, they will not receive a guaranteed exotic loot drop from the final encounter. They will deliver on that kind of stuff later on to make sure that they check their data before crowning the official winners. And if you want to find the full rules, you can actually follow this link to see the full rules of how to compete and all the requirements for it. If you do end up finishing the raid in the first 24 hours, regardless if you are first in the world, you'll be able to get this exclusive emblem that I'm personally not a fan of. And if you complete the raid at all, at any point in time, you'll be able to get this one, which in my opinion does look a little bit better than this one, but I don't understand all the squares. They seem to have like a square thing in this new DLC. But I mean, obviously it's called Garden of Salvation, so obviously it's Vex like, I know. Stop. Don't put that in the comments, all right? I already addressed it. Okay. Moving on to this section here, it's a lot of words that basically talk about one thing. Have you ever had an issue where you're playing Reckoning and you go to the that triangle maker thing that you make the triangles to put in the triangle machine for Reckoning? You know, I forget what it's called, the synthesizer that makes the synthetic whatevers, right? Have you ever tried making a triangle and then it goes to the end of the bar and then it doesn't make it? Well, this has been an issue for a really long time, an issue that they thought they fixed at some point that's still going on to this day. And in this section, they want to say, hey, we've got it, we understand it, and we're going to try to hopefully fix it with update 2.6.0, which is going to be the next update with Shadowkeep. Moving on to the Dr. Bungie section, which talks about the known issues and updates coming to Destiny 2 very, very soon. Yeah, so there's a lot of information here. I'm not going to go over every little bit of it, but a biggest thing is going to be PC migration. If you're on PC, you're migrating from Battle.net to Steam, make sure you do it before October 1st, because as soon as October 1st goes over, you won't be able to access stuff on Battle.net anymore, and that includes all of the licenses and all the activities. Make sure you redeem all of your codes for Battle.net before then. Make sure you link the correct Steam account. Make sure you know that the silver purchase are not available. A lot of weird and interesting stuff. There's going to be a couple of license issues for the Forsaken licenses for Steam linked PC players. They will continue to work on them in the background, so initially you won't have access to this stuff, but you will have access to this stuff from Forsaken. And the last thing you should know is if you have any campaign progress for Destiny 2 campaigns, including Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, but you haven't completed them on October 1st, that'll all be reset. I don't know why it's going to be reset, but that's what they say. That's it. That's the end of the TWAB movies of the week at the very bottom. A video of a working Jotun. Obviously it doesn't shoot anything, but it looks pretty good with the lights that come out, the little fan that comes out the side. I think I actually saw this on Twitter before the TWAB. It's actually really, really cool. And a last little section mentioning that DMG04 is actually not feeling very well, and there's a dedicated Reddit post to him getting better soon, as well as a little Easter egg here, which gives me a broken Imgur page. I don't really know what that's about, but that is going to be the end of the TWAB. Next week's TWAB will be the final TWAB before the release of Shadowkeep. That will be the final section of teasers and trailers before the release of Shadowkeep, and I'm very excited. It's right around the corner, October 1st, Shadowkeep. It's making my blood boil how close it is, and yet I can't play it. But that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Of course, my name's been Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.